Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Very Dead Gaming. I'm Very Dead, and today, again, I'm playing this morning Elite Dangerous, doing trade missions to rank up to Elite. It's about time I did that. As happens in this game, in the background simulation, the systems that you're working for trade, they change based on actions of you and other commanders. And so the systems that I was running to and from the last time I played have kind of dried up a bit. Hey, good morning, Major Fish, and welcome to the show. What we're doing, again, since the system dried up, we're going into, I had to just kind of switch it up a little bit, and now I'm going back to my home base, Raid Gateway, and I'm doing some trade there until that dries up as well. And what I found is that I have a nice secondary trade that I'm doing that's getting me just about 680,000 credits per run, and this is just so that I'm not doing 0 credits one way on my loot. This kind of fills it out nicely, and so even it pays to make the run back to pick up the supplies that I'm doing. And then we're gonna come back, drop off. We'll then select a bunch of missions to sell the reactive armor that I'm purchasing, and we'll just board flip until they're all sold, and then we'll do it again. A couple of things that I wanted to look at here real quick before I get started. I'm at 31% trade rank. You can see that toward Tycoon or toward Elite. And my credits are 442 million, just under 443 million. And then the other thing I wanted to do was here. Let's just get up over here and we'll check out the statistics. What I just wanted you to see is my trade stats. And we're looking at trading profit. I've done in profit 219 million credits in profit since I started doing specifically for Elite. I had about 60 million in trade before then. So you can see I've done quite a bit of credits to get to this point, but still much less than what the requirement is if you were to start the game today. Credits went a lot further earlier in the game because they were much harder to come by, and so any rank that I got, it came through with. I did not have to do very much as far as totals go, but that's where we're at right now. So we're gonna get back into it. I just checked the board to see if we're still giving out some reactive armor missions, and they sure are. So I think I'll be able to board flip and get between these two factions, the Fight and Blue United and Brotherhood of Fight, and they're still in civil war, and those are the factions that are giving out the missions. These other two are no longer in civil war, so they are not giving out the best missions, although they are giving out a few, but they seem to be random, not necessarily. What you're looking for is one commodity that you can get a ton of missions for, and now that they're in boom, I'm seeing, there's just a bunch of random requirements. So although this guy, they've got they're all different, so what you want to see is all the same. You want to get a bunch. Got stabilizers, so the best. But I'm not taking any missions right now. What we're going to do is I'm going to go to the commodities market, and I'm going to buy water purifiers. So right. Machinery. They are. Taking these to Diagondry.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Just set up time. I'm gonna just clean up my A lot of these. Gateway. All right, time to get it going. Just working the trade rank. I made pretty significant increase in rank on Saturday. And I would like to do a similar, get about, it would be nice to get about 15%, but it all really depends on the systems. I didn't really feel like giving up on this one just yet, because they are kind of hard to find, and it takes a good 4 to 5 hours of time investment sometimes to get allied with all the factions. And to go through that again, I think I just want to try and milk this system just a little bit more. And I guess I probably should get a little bit better at trying to manipulate the system factions, their status, because pushing more towards civil war would be ideal. But the one good thing is this is a single jump route, so I should be able to complete a few more of them in a shorter time span than what I had been doing. It was a little bit more tedious because I was doing 3 jumps. Fully laden, I can still do this in 1. So I'm hoping that that time trade-off will make it just a little bit more credits per hour, and so that I can rank up that much quicker. But we'll see. Saturday, I found I just got a ton of really great missions, but it has since dried up. 2 of the factions that were giving those missions are no longer. They're now booming. They're not in civil war anymore, and that unfortunately means they're not giving out those missions anymore. But that's one of the things that I really like about this game is that aspect is very dynamic. It changes from hour to hour. The commodity prices change, and I think that, well, I wish what they would do would give us some more tools so it was easier to find some of these systems, because still it can be quite a bit of searching around to find them. But I will definitely keep this system in rotation, and I'll check it from time to time, just because it is very close to my home system, and it's in the bubble, so you don't really have to go very far. And I've made a ton of credits here, a couple 100 million since I started doing this. So work is work as usual. I try not to think about it too much when I'm playing, because that's why I play. But you know how it goes. You do your job. I mean, I enjoy what I do, but when I'm not doing it, I don't like to think about it that much. I much more enjoy sticking to the work that I'm doing in the game. And you know, I get a little stressed out with my job, so when I think about it when I'm gaming, it starts to stress me out a little bit. So one of the reasons that I do game is to kind of escape.
Alpha Tango. Please comply with flight regulations as you approach the station, Commander. Permission authorized. Adjust heading for approach to pad 02.
I definitely need to slow it down. I forgot. I am playing in open, and I've got Couple of commanders. There's a commander. He just looks like he deployed hard points there. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not that sensitive about it. I'm just a wimp. When I get stressed out, I don't deal with it that well. It's, you know, some people can handle stress. I'm not one of them. I can fake it for a while, but not my gig. All right. So now we're here. I'm gonna dump off my water purifiers and make hopefully a little bit of profit here. There we go, about $500,000. Oh, there you go. Nice. And oh, you know what? Let me just check the mission board really quick. I always like to just check and see what's going on at the stations that I visited. Sometimes it pays. They want, and what I'm looking for is just kind of a pattern of missions that would kind of fit with what I'm doing, but it doesn't look like they have expansion data that they want courier. Delivery. Now this, you see this? Look at that, a 6 million mission. Now, what you want to do when you see a mission like that, where it's paying that high, you have to check it out. So what I'll do is I'll come over here, and I'm gonna look for insulating membrane. And if it's close, then you'll make the exception. And yeah, that's close. So it's expensive. But I'll divert and go do that real quick. And then we'll come back and we'll do our reactive armor ones. Because that single mission for 90 units, if I could get multiples of those, it would be fantastic. But it doesn't look like, it looks like it's a one-off. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and accept that right now. And normally I wouldn't accept it first, but I don't know if it's gonna come back. So I'm gonna take it. Personal weapons. Again, these are pretty good paying missions here. Because well, like this one that's a single run, single cargo run. So I would definitely take that. And then check a few of these others. The weapons. Yeah, that's a nice easy one. It's almost getting into where that would be worth it if it was over 10 million. All right, so I found one mission on the board that I'm going to take, and I'm going to take it right now. I'm heading to this. Just going to check and see how far. It's either Sharma or the orbital or Carson Terminal. Carson Terminal, very close. That's where I'm gonna go. Go back to the game. So we get in here, and there's Carson Terminal, right? Yeah, I was thinking I was gonna play a little Insurgency tonight. I haven't played it in a while. They did an update, and they made it much more difficult with the bots, so you can much more challenging for the human players as a team to succeed against the bots. So might try that. I was looking at. I've been playing around with playing a competitive, getting in a competitive league for PUBG. I'm not very good, but I like the idea of being competitive. I think that motivates you to play a little bit better. But we'll see. I mean, I still haven't done my ranking matches. I have 3 more to do before I get ranked, and it's using this new service called Face It that they have competitive leagues. I also played a little bit of Counter-Strike. I haven't played that in years, and it was always so much fun when I played it. And so I played a few hours yesterday just for fun, and I really had a blast. It was just as fun as I remember. But those are the, I'm not really too enamored with Battlefield 5 at the moment. For some reason, it's just, I'm not sure if it's the aesthetics of it or what. And it also is probably that because it's in a beta, you don't have access to a lot of different maps, so it's a lot of the same thing over and over again. And none of my friends, that's the other thing, none of my friends are currently playing it, so I end up doing a lot of solo, and it's just a lot harder. I'm not a good lone wolf type player. I like to work those combat games as part of a team, just because my reaction times are a little slow, and I'm not quite as fast at picking up targets as a lot of guys are. But I can definitely, if I can hang back and cover the kind of the point guys in our squad, I do much better. I can help them finish off and just watch their back, and that's how I like to play. I'm doing a little bit more. I've been thinking about how to find higher paying missions in this game, and higher paying systems, and just generally save myself some effort when looking for systems that have potentially higher paying credits. I don't often, I'm not spending all of my time credit grinding, but again, sometimes you like to go a little crazy and build up a huge stock of credits, so that then you can play for several weeks, and no matter how you want to play, and you don't have to worry about rebuys or money. If there's a ship you want to try and A rate or engineer, you have the credits to buy that ship, buy the modules, maybe buy multiple sets of modules. Sometimes I'll do that, and you get a bunch of materials and you'll engineer a bunch of those modules, like 3 or 4 frameshift drives for various different sized ships. And it's just nice to have the credits to be able to do it.
Kudumaya, Papa Alpha Tango. This is Federal Flight Control. You're clear for approach. Ensure you submit a request before touching down, Commander. Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 39er.
So what have you been up to, Major Fish? What games have you been playing these days? Are you still playing Elite Dangerous? Anything else on the horizon for you?
Ground crew on standby. Regulate your speed, Commander.
Scan detected.
Go. All right, so I'm going to pick up.
Docking confirmed. Securing ship. Good to have you, Commander.
Let me just quick check my missions again. Insulating membrane is what I'm looking for. There it is. This is going to be quite a bit of cash out. What? Oh, see, they didn't have enough. So, there we go. Confirm that. We'll buy it. I'm going to have to check one of the other stations. Double check. Yeah, see, they had the most, but it looks like they're out. Now I'm going to head over to Lee Orbital. Hopefully they... Let me find it. Here's one that... Maybe a couple of more jumps, but... Dead. So here, this is what I'm looking at, just so you guys can see. I went down here. And it's at Avestkaya. And it's 24 light seconds. So that's where I'm going to end up going, I think. I don't... it looks like they have a better supply. Although it's been a while since it's been refreshed. So it might be a little bit of... gonna move on. And that's sometimes the difficulty in is that you end up having to go kind of on a little scavenger hunt to find it. You'll go to a system and they don't quite have what you need. That's where we're headed next is. We only need 90, so it's not like we need a ton. Oh, you know what? before I head out of the system, that's right, I only need 90, so I'm going to head over to these other stations here before I leave.
Detach is good. You are go for departure.
I keep forgetting I don't need a lot. I didn't take a bunch of missions. It's just a single mission that's paying 6 million.
Federal flight control now offline. Till next time, Commander.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to do a little bit more exploration, looking for the commodities than you want to, but it's the way it goes. For 6 million credits, I'll do a couple of in system jump here. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get going in system. That's one of the reasons that you don't want to have to do a lot of hops around inside of a system. You kind of get in the gravity well, and it takes forever to get going. But here we go. We're hitting. Oops, a little bit too fast. That's loud. So I hope you had a good weekend and recharged and ready to get back to work. I had a great weekend. I did a nice, had a friend's birthday party. We had a nice barbecue for them. Got to meet up with some old friends I haven't seen in years. Had some new ones. It was all good this weekend.
Alpha Tango. Submit a docking request before attempting to land at this federal station. Access approved. Proceed to landing pad 02.
Wrong way there. Sometimes I'm a little too far out. I can't see the green lights.
risk annihilation. Make way for other vessels.
I hate when I get a warning. My ship is so big it lags over or blocks other pads as you're coming in.
Avoid unnecessary destruction. Do not
And I have not been to this system before. This is the first time I've been here.
Power down.
So we will. Well, and I've not been to this station before either. So I am looking for what I'm looking for. Insulating membrane. Just somebody cleaned them out is what they did. Alright, so this is not good. Let me find another system. Oh wait, there's one more station I can try in this system. It's Jarmaport. All right, well, that's where we're headed. See if anybody supply. Yeah, none of these that are close have decent supply. I have to go all the way out to Santoris. And I'm probably gonna have to go out there anyways. We'll hit Sharmaport. Find that. Well, let's see where it's at. That's what I'm.
Docking clamps retracted. Regulate speed until clear of exclusion zone.
This will just be a quick jaunt over to Sharmaport. So I did 40 on the 2 stations. I'm hoping that this 3rd station will get me the balance that I need. I am, by the way, I am playing in open again today. As you can see, I don't know if you can see the jaggies on my screen. Sometimes the connection of some of the people in your instance or yours to the server gets a little bit poor. But I've only seen one live commander today so far. It's in my home system, and that is a fairly popular home system for some players. So you will tend to see a few more there than places. But I made a pretty decent amount of credits on Saturday. Almost to 450 million. So I got into that $500 million range. I'm getting there. So, and it's I've had much more credits than that, but I went on a spending spree, and I've been buying a lot of stuff in the game, and so it's been tough to keep that balance high. it was a bit costly making an anti-Thargoid Anaconda. A lot of equipment a lot of modules had to be purchased and then engineered. Definitely cost me a bit, and because I still wanted to have a dedicated exploration ship, so that when they drop the new exploration changes in fourth quarter, that I have a ship ready to go. And so the existing ship that I had, I switched over to a combat build for anti-Thargoid. And then of course, I had to buy another one and then re-engineer it for exploration.
Papa Alpha Tango, FFC channel open. Submit a request if you wish to dock at this facility, Commander.
So that's what I did. So that was pretty close to 2 billion credits right there, right? Yeah, it does look like there are going to be some good things coming. There's definitely going to be a lot of changes to the game. They're really focusing on exploration and really making that more profitable and more exciting and all that good stuff. So I'm looking forward to trying out a lot of the new game mechanics for exploration. But there's also they're changing the way the mission board works. So, and I don't think they've really revealed everything about how they're going to change that up. But they're adding a dedicated mission server, so that you'll have persistent mission boards now. So you won't be able to board hop to get more missions. So I think you'll have a much more limited mission pool, but hopefully because of that, they'll uncap the amount, maybe, have more missions per board, and they should be able to do more missions per board because now they have dedicated a mission server. So it should be able to handle a much higher load of missions. So I'm hoping that they expand that again like they had done. The reason they cut down on the total amount of missions was because it really taxed the game servers a lot. I can remember the mission boards would time out. You wouldn't be able to even get missions because they were so taxed. So hopefully we'll see some changes to how the missions go, and we might see, it might take a few updates, but they might start adding more missions, and so that you just have more to choose from per board. And that's also system dependent as well. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna be 10 short, but I'll get them. Oh. What? Oh, I had 40. I only had 12. See, I thought they had more of a supply. Their supply was really low. Okay, so somebody hit this system and cleaned it out is what they did. So I have to get on the... I'm looking for my browser. There it is. So I'm gonna head over here. This looks like this place. It was updated a day ago. I'm gonna head here to 80E Museum. Or like dock. Hopefully, well, let me just check. Hopefully that is not too far. Ehrlich dock. Oh, there it is. It's a bit of a hoof, but I can do that. So. Turned out to be a pain in the butt, and sometimes that's what happens. You take a mission, you try it out, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't have a good source for this. And I thought I did. That's why I took the mission. It looked like I had 3 stations within 30 light years that I could use as a resource, but turns out somebody else had either cleared them out, or for whatever reason that on the mission board the amount did not match what Elite Dangerous Database said. So, off we go. Again, have to make a few more jumps than I wanted to, but that's the name of the game sometimes. And it's the same thing when you're looking for a system that has good payouts. It can take a couple of hours.
Detach confirmed. Regulate speed.
You can
to
find a lot of
outside
candidates
exclusion
pretty
zone.
quickly, but then when you get to the systems, sometimes they're just in the wrong state, or they're just not they're not giving out the missions that you were hoping they would. Just when I think I'm starting to recognize what a good system looks like,
Steady traffic.
I'll go through a dry spell, and what I thought was good, it turns out to be it was just a random fluke. So I haven't really figured it out completely, but I have had pretty good success, just not regular. There's been a few systems I've found that were just fantastic, and I would use them for a couple of weeks, and then something changed, and that was it. Never again. This will be my last jump here on this, and hopefully they'll have a decent enough supply that I can top this off. And if they do have a decent enough supply, this would be the loop I would do. But I don't think this specific mission it's not going to repeat very much. There was a single one of these across all the factions at my station, but it was a good paying one. That's why I decided to go for it. And it turns out that was kind of a bad decision because it wasn't quick. But that's a lot of times that's how it is. You have to try it out to see if it's worth it, because a lot of times Elite Dangerous Database, even though it looks like it's fairly fresh, if someone hasn't been there since it updated, then you're kind of out of luck. Which is what happened to me. I hit all 3 stations in that system and still didn't get the amount that I needed. But I'm hoping that this will get it done. I'm not sure. Getting back to Chapter 4, the content release, I don't think they've given us a date when that's coming, but I am looking forward to the significant changes. Apparently, they've overhauled the entire exploration mechanic. They've added. They're making it more skill-based, and we'll see what that entails, because I'm not quite sure I understand exactly what that would mean. But so it won't be a lot of flying around. You'll be able to pinpoint your exploration a little bit better, and I think they're doing it with the same thing with the unidentified signal sources. You're not going to have to just fly around waiting for them to randomly pop up. They're going to be they're going to be placed in systems now, so they're not random, which I really like. And then you're also going to have different modules that will aid in exploration. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it's different, and hopefully it becomes more lucrative. I know that they are adding planetary mapping, so even if you're not the first to discover a planet, you can be the first to map it. So then your name gets permanently attached to that planet as the first person to map that system. Which I think that's kind of cool, and that would apply to all the systems unmapped planets in the bubble. So you won't have to go very far to if you want to get your name tagged on, your in-game name tagged on a planet as the first to do something. That'll be an easy opportunity for a lot of people. So I am interested. I'm sure there's going to be different types of scanners you have, and different things that you have to do. Like, I don't know how you're going to map a planet. How do you do that? It's all interesting to me, and exploration was one of that was kind of my first thing in this game. I really enjoyed it. I liked being out there. Finding things, but after a while it does get very tedious because you're not actually exploring, you're not really discovering things, and then it did become a good money maker, because you could you really kind of dial in your ability to find Earth-like worlds. And the one that you wanted to find Earth-like worlds or water worlds in the habitable zone. They paid out, over 1 million credits per planet, so you could make a lot of money if you got good at it. And I got fairly efficient at finding Earth-like worlds, finding systems that had a better chance of having them. They're still quite rare, but I found a bunch of them and made a ton of money.
Maya, Papa, Alpha, Tango, Federal Flight Control Channel open. Observe docking protocols if you wish to land. Landing permission granted. Proceed to landing pad 09er.
All right, I make a quick check, looking for any live commanders, and no, don't see any, so I think we're okay. We don't have anybody trying to give us any hassles as we come into this station. And that's the thing about open. If you're doing your own thing and you're not in like the most popular systems, it's rare that you come across any commanders.
Scan detected.
Let's go check that commodities market. Come on. There we go. Wow. This said they had several thousand. Oh, they do. They have 6,000 units. Nice. And I just need to get to 90. But 30, 28, I think, will give me 90. Let's see. Go. Let's just make sure that's exactly what I need. 90 units of insulating membrane. All right, so I have really wasted a lot of time trying to find this, but now I know this is the place to come. It's got 6,000 units. So what I'm going to do real quick is go to the galaxy map, and I'm going to bookmark where I'm at. So just put a bookmark on here, just in case I end up wanting to come back. Now I know where it's at. Alright, so Launch. Back to Array Gateway. A few jumps to get there. 2 jumps. Alright, so it's a 2 jump route. It'll probably be 3 jumps if I was fully laden. Well, pretty close to it. It might still be.
Ship restraints retracted. Follow the greens on your way out.
And a 2 jump route, if I could, I definitely would want to do this with the insulating membrane. Although the profit margin is not that high. Reckless flying.
Caution. Maintain safe separation.
I didn't see what I hit. Sometimes there's a ship really close to you that you don't see.
To resume own navigation. Safe
And I mean, I didn't even see it on my scanner. Good thing he didn't get destroyed, or that I would have been, probably wouldn't have survived. Now, I'm going to actually let this guy interdict me, and I'm going to fight him. Because it's anarchy. So throttle down.
Under attack.
So he's attacked me. And now I'm... toward him. There we go.
Warning. Thermal attack. Gaining heat.
Now, I may or may not be able to take this guy. But I'm gonna...
Under attack.
It's time to get out. He was attacking my modules there, so
Temperature critical.
that's what happens. That was a good fight, but now I have to run. I got his shields down and I did some damage to him, but I just didn't have the weaponry to really take him out. Volcoria. Let's see if he follows me. And he was targeting my power plant, so I was definitely in some bad shape there. And because it was anarchy system, there's no help coming, so it's pretty much not a smart idea to fight in an anarchy system. But I'm not really that smart when I play this game. I just want to have fun, and I like the risk. It's more dangerous, and that makes it more appealing. There he is. Alright, I'm gonna try and run. Because if I can run, then he will. I can get back without him getting me. There we go. There it is. Almost there. There we go. Come on. There, I got away from him. Nice. I typically don't like to do that, but I barely have any shields. And that guy put a serious hurt on me. But sometimes you just have to run and play the mini game, play the that interdiction mini game. So that was kind of a little distraction. I was hoping that it would be a quick payout, and it turned out not to be the case. Sometimes it's worth taking the risk. A lot of times I'll just stick to what I was doing because it just slows you down. But you know, sometimes you get a little greedy. I saw that 6 million payout, and there was a system close by that I thought had all the materials I needed, and it turned out that one system didn't have anything. And a lot of it is trial and error.
Gutamaya Papa Alpha Tango. This is an independent star system, Commander. Request docking permission prior to touching down.
Hit the wrong button.
Access granted. Prep for arrival on landing pad 02.
Just a little too close. Slow it down. It was, I hit my boost key. I had flight assist. I needed to turn it off, and I hit the wrong key on my,
Restrict speed to 100 meters per second.
on my throttle. got a couple of commanders here today. This is my home system. It's typically a home system for quite a few. Finally made it back in. Now I'm going to sell this stuff off. Well, what I'm going to do is not sell it, but
Dispatching ground crew. Enjoy your visit, Commander.
go to the mission board and we'll turn this 6 million guy in. There it is. And we'll take that. Very good. And now we're allied here. Just take a quick look. Nothing worth taking. So we're out of there. We're gonna go to the commodities market. And what I'm looking for is reactive armor. That should be all the way at the bottom. There it is. And I'm gonna buy their entire supply. Or pretty close to it. 696 units.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
And now we're going to take this back to the system where I'm currently working on my rank, which is expansion ring. And then now we'll hopefully be able to sell these off for a decent profit. I'm hoping it, you know, at least
Detach confirmed. Departure authorized.
7-8 million credits. Sometimes you can get more, but it would be nice. And since it's a single jump, well, unfortunately it looks like this place is going to run out of reactive armor fairly quickly.
Speed restrictions are now lifted. Flight control signing off.
And maybe I'll be able to get into a little bit of a rhythm here and start making some rank. And okay, so I made 1% with that mission, so I'm up to 32%. That's pretty good. I've been looking at replacing my HOTAS system. Right now I have the Cytec. It's old, so it's Cytec before Logitech bought them. The Cytec X55. And I have to say, a lot of people complain about them, and that you know, the build quality of the units aren't that great. But I've had them for about 4.5 years, and it's the only system I've ever owned. But I've used for thousands of hours, and they have worn out, no doubt about it. My the flight stick, the hat switches are all worn out, and the throttle is a little bit wonky. Some of the toggles don't quite work as crisply as they used to. But I mean, that's after 4 years of pretty much, well, not daily play, but weekly play. I would say I play every week, thousands of hours on these sticks, and for the money they were, I've definitely got my money's worth.
Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 25.
So, but I am looking to replace them, and I was thinking of going a little bit higher end. I looked at the Logitech, and they do look nice, but I know I would be getting pretty much the exact same thing I'm getting here. I was looking at some of the metal sticks, like the Warthog. It's very expensive, but the things, oh, they last forever. But I would have to get pedals for that, because it doesn't have the twist axis on the stick or yaw. So, and then there's the really high-end ones, but, and I guess I could justify to myself easily to buy those, just because I play this game so much, but I'm not sure I'm willing to put that kind of money out. But who knows, I might. But so I am looking to replace my HOTAS system, and that hopefully will be coming around Christmas time, because that's usually when I like to buy myself a nice little gift for Christmas. So, alright, so I'm gonna go to the mission board. Well, first let me, and let's see what we can find for reactive armor. I'm gonna look first for these guys that are at Civil War. And hopefully, alright, so there's this little one. That's pretty low paying. There's a good one. Again, we just keep looking for reactive armor. That one's not so good, so I'm going to skip it. That one's pretty good. Let me see if I can find one that's got more. Typically what I want to do is hold out for the ones that are over 1 million. That's it's a fairly decent mission. That'll give me 3.2 million. Let me see what my cargo is right now. It's 630. And I see, I don't have enough to complete it, so I'm gonna skip that so I don't have to make another run. You just keep looking. You check all of them. And so nothing there, so then what you do is you board hop. That's unfortunate. There was only one mission on the board. That drives me nuts. When I first came to the system, there would be 5 or 6 per faction. But that's just how the game changes. And then, you know, you see it start to fade, and you maybe hold on to the system a little longer than you should, because you're like, oh, it was so hard to get aligned, um, and then you think of how difficult it was to actually locate the system. But hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes, and this is part of the thing that they're hopefully going to rectify when they upgrade to a dedicated mission server, is it won't take so stinking long to load the mission board. I mean, it should come up right away. It used to, but with the changes they've made, it all right, there we go. So we just got one for that board as well. So this may take a while. And we'll just load up the play again. I will be right back. Give me a minute. Okay. Back into the mission board here. And again, we're going through. I'm just looking for reactive armor missions. They were much more common, but I think the status of this system is about to change, and we're going to basically run out of those missions. They're just going to stop showing. And it's unfortunate. There's a decent one. I'll take it. Two more. Not the best, but I've decided I'm going to take what I can get. And they're close to 1 million credits, so that's worth it to me. Sometimes you just gotta take what they're offering, even though it's not quite as high paying as it used to be. It's a good one. But I'm starting to see a better boom time delivery. I mean, what? Look at this. 6,000 units for 1 million, 1.5 million, 120 units for 1.4 million. Guys, that's ridiculous. Ah, we're getting some reactive armor here. That's all of them. This one. Bad, not bad at all. I think between those two factions, not bad. All right, so let's just take a look real quick. Went up another percent. Now I'm at 33%, and I'm at 454 million. So we're starting to get some going here. Now I'm gonna go back to that commodities market, and I think I need its water purifiers. Shit.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
We're going back to Ray Gateway. I'm hoping I can make one more run. We'll see. Anyways, that's what I'm working on, is gradually getting that rank. So I'm getting, you know, 1 to 2%. Sometimes it'll jump 3 or 4%. It's like I hit a threshold, and all of a sudden the rank catches up. Hey, let's do this. Let's make some money. Let's get some rank. Sometimes I get a little impatient, but I seem to be I'm hanging in there with this because I really want to hit that elite rank for trade, and I'm not sure why suddenly I want to do that, because it never really held much interest for me. But I think partly I think it's gonna become a lot harder to do, and so I want to get it done before the difficulty level raises unreasonably high. So, Diagondry, Ray Gateway, this is my home system and home station. I decided a few weeks ago that I was going to use this system as my base of operations. And it's, so far it's turned out pretty good. It's been a good decision. But it just so happens that they had a fairly decent supply of reactive armor, and that was what I was looking to buy to fulfill these source and return missions. So I'll sell off these. Hopefully this will get me close to. That's odd. I still had way more reactive armor. I don't know. I thought I had 0 left. So let me go back down and we'll buy some more. The supply is getting low. So that I just basically cleaned them out. Well, let me check the mission board real quick. always like to just give it a quick perusal before we head out, just to make sure we're not missing anything good. Well, these look pretty good. Land. There it's personal weapon, landmine. This might be worth it. Personal weapons. Again, we're gonna have to look and see. Landmine. Yeah, see. Now we're talking. So, landmines and personal weapons. This may be. There we go. This may be the place to do it. All right. So, I now have something that I can look at before I make another run. Let's take a look at. Go find a commodity, and we're gonna say country. My system. We're gonna look for landmines. Go. And there's nothing, so they're planetary. So watch. Now I should be able to find them. Okay, so right away. That's really limiting because it takes so much longer to land on a planet. I want to say close to 5 minutes longer, land and then take off. There's just a total, landing and taking off about 5 minutes extra. So it does limit your ability to make money, but it may be worth it. So landmines, and then what was the other thing we were looking for? It wasn't non-lethal weapon. It was personal weapon. Take a look at personal weapon. All right, so we've got a place that has the fairly decent supply within a very basically a 1 to 2 jump range. So this would be 1, that would be 2 jump range. Personal weapons. Let's take a look here. So we're looking at Picum and Hip and Langundi. Okay, so we have Fightin. They have it's going to be this Modustico. Here, let me go planetary. No. Now, Picum does have a small supply, but this is the place. They have a low price and a large supply. So, personal weapons would be something that I would be definitely interested in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and Daimler Gateway. I'm going to go back to my game, and I'm just going to bookmark that system so that I don't have to look it up again. And those missions were paying out pretty well. For not, I was not aligned with them yet. I was not allied yet. So that would be something that I would be very interested in doing. So here we go. We're gonna I'm gonna bookmark that, and we'll come back. I'm gonna go make one more run back to Fightin, and then we're gonna come back to Diagondry, and I'm gonna see if I can can make my home system pay. That would be very, very good. And because I never really bothered getting aligned with all the factions. All right, so I'll go and I'm gonna sell the rest of this, and hopefully I'll get at least 1 to 2% more in trade rank before I'm done, and then I'm gonna come back here, and I'm gonna see if I can make the route work here. Get some, maybe squeeze out a little extra profit. But it did seem like there was a higher quantity of missions, and they were also paying significantly more, and that's always what you're looking for. So maybe the system is in a better state, and there's a higher demand for those items. I don't really understand how it all works, but it. My goal is to make as much per ton that I'm hauling, much profit per ton. I'm looking for the net, because it's the profit that increases your trade rank. It's not the total amount, although they are linked. Typically, if you're making more, you will rank faster.
Alpha Tango. Comms link established. Please approach the station at a safe speed and give way to larger vessels, Commander. Landing permitted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 3-2.
Scan detected.
Alright, so here we go. We're gonna hit this and
Docking restraints engaged. Welcome to our starboard, Commander.
I'm hoping that the mission boards will be a little bit more forgiving today, but so far that's not the case. Look at that. That's a good mission right there. Too bad they're not giving out enough to stack. Painful. There we go. That's a good one. Hi there, Mantilla. How you doing? Alright, so I am, there was a mission here for 1.4 million. We'll take it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to flip the board because they're not giving me what I'm looking for. So you just save and exit. And now what you do is you mode switch. You'll go, like I was in open, so now I'll go to solo. And hopefully it will reload the mission board for me, and there will be a few more of those reactive armor missions so that I can dump off this reactive armor and make a decent, make some decent trade rank. But sometimes the mission board, the random number gods don't want you to have an easy go of it, so they stop giving you your I hear you. I've been playing this. I've got a couple thousand hours in the game, and I still play it pretty much daily. The thing you want, do you like space simulations? And you know what are you looking for? But the game has a ton to offer. I would definitely try it if you can. If you have friends that have it, try the game out before you play, or before you decide to plunk down your cash. I know a lot of people, they like it for a while, and then they really kind of lose their mojo, because a lot of it is a time investment. You have to invest some serious time into the game, and if you don't have a lot of time to play, progress can be slow. So let me supply this reactive armor, collect my money. What I'm doing right now is I'm earning my elite level trade rank. Yeah, well, I think that's part of their strategy. They want you to buy it. But there's so much to this game. I was fighting aliens. I built specific ships for it last week, and it's a ton of fun. It's just extremely difficult combat, but very, very, very fun. Yeah, they're doing actually large updates. They dropped a ton of content this year, and the big end of year update is still coming, where they're overhauling the exploration system and making that much more viable as far as earning money and rank, and and also just being a more satisfying experience. So, I mean, there's so much you can do in this game, and they do. They've been dropping tons of content, and they've actually even talked about that even into 2019 and 20, they're going to keep adding some larger updates. So there's lots to look forward to, for sure, and the game has changed a lot. They just added a whole storyline, and new weapons and new ships. So yeah, no, it's still under quite active development. A lot of people would complain because some of the long-standing issues that some people have with the game have not been fixed. But for someone like me, who I've been playing this game um, for about 4 years, um, uh, I don't have a complaint about a lot of the bugs that other people think are game breaking. I don't even notice them. So you know, a lot of times it's the people complaining the loudest that tend to be heard, whether their complaints are valid or not. So I would say I play the game daily. I stream a ton. You can just check through uh, my previous streams. I'm always playing this game, and I love it. And there's so many different things you can do. Right now, I'm not doing anything particularly exciting. I'm earning money, so my balance, I'm up to about 459 million. But what I'm really working on is my trade rank. I'm up to 34%. And this is my last rank to elite. Elite is the top. You get the best missions, the best payouts, and bragging rights too. That, you know, because it's really difficult to make it to that rank. And I'm finally doing it. It took me 4 years. I mean, I'm not doing it in record time or anything like that. But I think it was one of those things that I finally decided I wanted to do it. So I'm trading. I'm earning my elite trade rank by trading, using my ship, hauling cargo, that kind of thing. Well, Horizons, they keep expanding Horizons. So if you want all the good stuff, you got to get the main game plus Horizon. And I guess they're gonna do this whole other. Basically, they've had 3 chapters released in Horizons, and chapter 4 is coming in fourth quarter of this year. So, and then they have this whole other thing that they've kind of teased it a little bit, but haven't given much detail about it. But that major updates. So we'll see. I mean, a lot of it could be hype. They may or may not deliver. But so far they have delivered as far as I'm concerned. I've gotten my money's worth and much more. So I'm gonna take this guy. How much do I have in my cargo hold? I probably don't have enough to do this one. 365 tons. Darn it. Oh, that's a nice one. All right, I hit 460 million. I'm happy about that. I'll check this last group here. right, so now I have starting to earn a little bit here. The game is exceedingly complicated. There's so much. Okay, so first, let me no, it's okay. Let me explain a little bit to you. So, you do basically the game is an open sandbox. You play how you want to play. If you want to do combat, there's tons of combat. You can do NPC combat, so you know, bounty hunting or support a war effort or whatever. You can get involved with that, or you could PvP, go play against other commanders, attack them, and you know, try and ruin their day. Then there's fighting the Thargoids, which is the alien presence in the game, and they are very difficult to kill solo, but you can fly in wing missions, so you can team up with 3 other commanders, and they'll be in their ships, you'll be in your ship, you fly in the same instance, and you fight the enemy that way. You can team up. So combats, there's a ton of different combat options. You can do there's another, I can't remember what they call it, but you can have other multi-crew, other commanders can ride in your ship and control some weapons on your ship. You fly it, and they can control like turrets on your ship so that you can fly and fight together. They can track targets while you're busy fighting or flying. So that's combat. Then yes, if you crash, you lose your ship, and if you don't have enough money to rebuy it, it's gone for good. So you lose your ship, and you'll be, if you don't have enough money to rebuy whatever you lost, they put you in the entry level ship. So that's why it's always good to have a lot of credits in the bank, like I have. And then the markets change. Well, one, there's over, I think, 100 billion planets that you can explore. The bubble is smaller, but there's hundreds of thousands of economies and factions and planets, and they all are changing all the time. And they're changed based on your actions in the game and other commanders' actions in the game. You can flip systems into boom or civil war, or you can have disease outbreaks. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. So the game is got a lot. And then there's a whole separate political system. It's called power play. And then there are different factions that you can do work to improve their power. Yes, there are ships that you can have multi-crew in. There's quite a few of them, actually. So yeah, you can fly with multiple people. They have to have their own copy of the game, though. You can't do it on the same game. So they have to load up their game on their computer, and then they can get on your ship. So yeah, but definitely you can do that. And then they have different game modes. You can do private groups where it's just you and your friends. You can do open, which is the most dangerous, because now that's just a massively multiplayer. So if you come across any other people playing, they could just decide they want to destroy you to ruin your day, and they'll ruin your day. I mean, that's definitely how that goes. And then there's solo, which is you just play by yourself, and there's no other humans in the galaxy. But the galaxy is 1-to-1 real size. So there's, I don't know, 100 billion planets in it, or something like that. 100 billion stars, and I don't know, 500 billion planets. Some insane amount. Most of the stuff is undiscovered, unvisited. If you do exploration and discovery, you get your name permanently attached as the first discoverer of that planet or that system or that star. So that's kind of cool. I have my own. I've discovered some Earth-like worlds in the habitable zones of their stars. So, and my name is my player name is permanently associated with that star system. which is very awesome. I kind of like that. All right, so here we go. Looking for... I'm still trying to supply reactive armor. There we go. Yes, and it's extremely dangerous. If you play in open, you will be killed. That no doubt about it. And as a beginning player, there's NPCs as well, non-player characters. It's the AI of the game, and they're quite dangerous to beginners. And so you'll get destroyed by the AI in the game, and it's not until you get fairly advanced in the game where they become not so much of a threat. But then it's the other players that are the threat. All right. Coming down to the end of my cargo here. Let's see how much I have in my cargo hold. I am down to 65 tons. So that's what I'm looking for, is see if I can find one that get me 65 tons I can sell. And I'm just, what I'm doing is refreshing the mission board so that I can sell off this cargo for my profit. Well, the galaxy is big, and if you're not in popular systems like core systems, you're not going to run into commanders that often. But there are community goals, and there's a whole culture in the game, and that's where you're going to run into a lot of players. But like if you're off doing some you know, there's community goals, so you're going to see a lot of commanders there. But like for me, this system, my home system that I have chosen to kind of base all my gameplay out of, I see a lot of other commanders every day. But then you know, when I'm out looking for cargo to haul or bounty hunting, I can go days in open and I don't come across a single other commander. And then all of a sudden you get pulled out of Super Cruise by a commander hunting you down. So there's you know, it changes all the time. But yes, depends on how you play, but you're going to run into other commanders quite a bit if you stay in kind of the populated systems. But if you're out on the fringes of things or off in unexplored space, I mean, when I was out exploring, I played probably a total of 3 weeks of actual game sessions. Over those 3 weeks, I played probably 3 times a week. I never saw another human being, another commander, another. And once you get out there, the galaxy is so big, you're not going to come across anybody. so I'm gonna abandon this mission. Oh, just go here. I didn't have enough units for it. I thought I did, so I'll just abandon that mission. Oh. Well, in a wing, I think you can have 4 friends in their own ships simultaneously. So you can play with up to 4 different people with their own ships, and if they have multi-crew ships, each one of those ships can hold two other people. So, you know, you can play with up to 12 different people at a time if you had multi-crew ships and then a full wing. So, I mean, it can be quite a big party. All right. Go. So we'll at least I think that's how it works. I know you can definitely play with up to 4 people at once in the same game that are your friend. And maybe even more if you could have multiple wings. So let's say 4 of your friends get in one wing and 4 of your friends get in another wing, and then you go to the same system. Now you got 8 people all playing together in their own ship. So I mean, you can probably do a lot more than that too. So I haven't explored that too much. I've done some wing missions with 3 other guys, but I've never done multiple wings together. But yeah, you could do, I mean, I bet you could do all kinds of crazy stuff, especially if you have had enough friends in game. All right, so now I'm heading back to my original home system. And this is just the galaxy map. So now I'm jumping to the next system. And this is my home system, Diagondry. Yeah, this is a monster of a ship. It's one of the biggest in the game. And I use it for cargo hauling because it has the most cargo space, but it also has a really good weapons loadout and super strong shields. So if you wanted to make it into a fighting ship, it definitely could do that as well. It's not very nimble, so you don't want to get involved with smaller ships. All right, so here I'll do a little combat right now. I'm gonna let this guy interdict me. Watch, he'll pull me out of Super Cruise. Hopefully. There he is. All right, so I'm just going to throttle back. That way I submit to the interdiction. And this is basically a pirate. Alright, so flight assist, he's attacking me. Let's take that. There he is. Alright, so now I'm attacking him. and he's running. And there he is. He's going down now. His shields are offline. Alright, so now I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna see if I can hit him with these plasma accelerators. Once your shields go down. Yeah, this is AI for sure. This is not a human pilot. If it was a human pilot, it would say Commander in front of his name in capital letters. And the dot on my HUD would be hollow. I'm watching my... You see my radar screen? That tells where he's at. And so And now I've got friends coming. The system security has arrived to save the day.
Scan detected. Temperature critical.
Alright, now we'll go and finish him off here. See if I can... it was my temperature. Because your weapons build heat, and my temperature was critical. I had to pop a heat sink to cool off. He's about dead. 5% health left. My shields are still up, so I'm pretty good about that. Alright, he's dead. Alright, there we go. Target destroyed. Alright, now back to my destination. It's Ray Gateway. That's my computer telling me, put your weapons away, dummy. We cannot jump to Super Cruise with the weapons out. Yep, it's 3-dimensional. You got it. And so what I did was, if you notice, you hear that kind of that clicking noise. That's me changing up my systems, and I switched all full power to my shields. And you have to distribute the power of your ship, and so what I did was, since I'm not using weapons anymore, I diverted all power from the weapons so that I could recharge my shields. Yeah. Okay, so I'm almost to Ray Gateway. Yes, there's a steep learning curve, and it takes a long time to master. Even flying takes a long time to master. And I mean, every system in your ship you can control. I mean, even down to, in order to dock with the station, you have to request docking.
Alpha Tango. This is flight control. Please note that access to the station is by authorization only. Request approved. Prep for arrival on landing pad 2-4.
Landing pad 2-4. And now this ship drifts, so it has a lot of inertia because it's so massive. So it just keeps going. You get it going in a direction, it will keep going in that direction. It really slides. So you want to make sure that your speed is manageable, and especially for this ship. You can crash and die. You have to land on if you land on the wrong pad, the station will kill you. If you get jammed into the entry slot of the station will kill you. If you loiter over another pad for too long, the station will kill you. So, I mean, you have to do everything correctly, or you just die. What happened there?
Landing successful. Clear to disembark. Welcome, Commander.
Yeah. No, and it's really dangerous in open at stations because other players know how to get you destroyed by the station. So they'll be in the cheapest ship that you can buy in the game. It's a couple thousand credits, and they'll fly it without shields, and they'll look for someone who's going over the speed limit, and then they'll just get in your way. They'll collide with you. They'll be destroyed and die, but the ship will then open fire on your multi-billion-dollar ship and destroy you in like a second. So you always have to watch out and make sure that you are not, you know, that you're obeying the speed limit and you're not doing anything out of ordinary. In open, it's very critical that you do things correctly. And even then, you can still get destroyed by other players. Sometimes they, you know, just like every multiplayer game, there are people trolling, and they want to destroy you because that's how they get their entertainment. So you always have to, you always have to weigh playing in open with the risks. And for me, I have plenty of money in the bank, so I don't really care. I'll if I get destroyed, I get destroyed. That's the way it goes. There's a lot of idiots. But you know, for me, thank you for the follow. For me, it makes the game much more exciting. That other players out there at any moment could attack you and destroy you. And you know, sometimes it's fun to fight. You can. Okay, so personal weapons, reactive armor. I'm checking out the mission board for what to buy and sell to make my last bit of money, and it's personal weapons look like it's one that they're doing. Landmines is another. So, I think that what I'm gonna source out, I'll show you. As far as trading goes, there are out of game tools that you use, and this is one of them. It's Elite Dangerous Database. What I'm gonna do is I'm looking for a commodity. Personal weapons and landmines. So personal weapons, they have them at this Daimler Gateway. It's very close to where I'm at, about 26 light years away. They have a huge supply, and so that's gonna be where I end up doing the rest of my mission. Let me just check my progress today. See what I did in this gaming session. I'm at 36% rank, and when I started today, I was at 31. So I did 5%, and I made. Let me see. I'm at 467 million credits, so I made about 35 million credits today. So, again, all really good stuff. They deliberately make a lot of this stuff very difficult in the game. It takes a lot of time and effort to do, and that's how they basically attach the they make it an achievement, because you really have to grind through it to get it done. And I've played pretty much 4 years without even caring about my trade rank, and for some reason I got this bug that I want to do it. I know that they're changing the way the mission boards work in the next update. So there's going to be a lot fewer missions that you can take. You're not going to be able to get a full 20 missions that they limit you to. And so that's going to make things go a little bit longer. So I think, you know, maybe now's the time to finish that off and get that trade rank. And my combat rank, I'm at Dangerous, 84%. And when I get to 100%, I will also become Elite with that. So I think I'll save that for maybe next month and go ahead and do my combat rank from there. One of the things that these ranks do is when you hit Elite, the payouts for your missions are always much higher, so you can make a lot more money, and that allows you to afford a lot more expensive ships, the expensive modules. You can engineer them so that they have their, you know, they get special abilities, and then there's the alien technology that you can incorporate in your ship. You know, there's just an endless amount of things you can do. So once I get to Elite Trade rank, I think I'll finish off the Elite Combat rank, and that'll do it for me. But for today's stream, I think I'm done playing. I thought it was a pretty good few runs that I did. I made a decent amount of credit and made a decent amount of rank. So thank you for the follow, Mantilla. Thank everyone who chatted with me today. I'll be back on tomorrow morning. Be doing the same thing. It's Elite Dangerous Trade rank until I hit Elite. That's what I'm going to do in this game. So you can watch my progress, see how long it takes, give you an idea what the top end of the trade ranking, like basically how long it takes to get it. The lower ranks come a lot quicker, but again, it's like, what negative stuff? There's nothing negative. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand. I don't have. There's not a lot of negative stuff. I don't have any negative feelings about this game. I've been playing it for 4 years. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't play it. And I don't know. I guess I don't. It's difficult if you die. You lose a lot of money. That's negative. Let me see. If you commit crimes, the I guess the government forces come after you, and that makes the game a lot more difficult. If you I mean, there's not really. If you become a criminal, you can do a lot of things that are criminal in this game, but it makes the legitimate stuff very difficult. You can still do it. It costs a lot of money when you do become a criminal, because you got to pay off. If you want to then go legitimate again, you have to pay. You pay off your fines. You get a bounty on your head. If you commit murder, you now have a bounty on your head, and you get a thing called notoriety, and basically you when you have notoriety, they don't let you do anything in those systems where you have notoriety. So if you don't have the range to jump out of that system to one where you're unknown, you're well, I think it also follows you around and follows your ship. So yeah, I mean, none of it's really that's the thing. None of it's really negative. It's difficult, I would say that. And the biggest complaint that I had about this game when I started was it's almost impossible to make money, and you can't get good stuff without money. And so you have a little ship and you can make a little money, but you have to progress up through to bigger ships and that kind of thing. But other than that, I never really found anything that negative about the game. To me, it's you either love it or you don't. Oh yeah, and there's different ways. I mean, you can just be a straight up murderer and you can go and just kill all you want. You can be a bounty hunter that hunts criminals. You can be a pirate if you want to steal stuff from other people. You can do that. You could be a troll if you wanted to be a troll and just destroy other commanders. But there's exploration. There's engineering. The engineering can take a long time. I guess that would be a negative. That can be to a lot of players can feel like it's a grind, because you have to collect a lot of materials, and maybe you have to play and do things that you don't really want to do, but you want an engineered module, so you do it. So I think the other negative, a lot of people complain about the random number generator, basically, that you have to deal with. A lot of the stuff is random, and sometimes it comes up good and sometimes it comes up bad. So sometimes you don't find any materials that you're looking for, even though you spend a lot of time looking for it. So I guess that would be some of the negatives, but I mean, I don't really find those things too terrible. I've been able to do whatever I want in this game. It's just taken time and practice and learn the best way to do it. That's pretty much all there is to it. If you get the opportunity to try the game before you can buy it, I would say go ahead and do it. It's very involved. There's a lot to do. For me personally, I bought the game immediately as soon as it came out, and I've been playing it ever since. One of my favorites of all time. But that's going to do it for my stream today. I appreciate you coming by. Come back tomorrow. I'll be back on. I try to get on by 9:30 a.m. Pacific time in the United States. Usually between 9:30 and 10 a.m. And I'll stream usually through lunch, so an hour and a half to 2 hours, just playing Elite Dangerous. I do it every morning. I love it, and I hope you come back to watch me what I'm doing. I stream in the evenings as well. I'll be doing some first-person shooters probably tonight. I will be streaming Insurgency Sandstorm and maybe some PUBG. Two games that I really like to play. I'm experimenting a little bit about getting into a competitive league. It's not that I'm a great player, but I like the idea of tournaments and competition and playing with your friends and bragging rights and all that good stuff. So I'll be on tonight. Usually it's about, again, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and it's a shorter stream. It's usually about an hour. That's about all I can take. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm originally from Illinois, in Chicago, and I've been out here in Phoenix for about 25 years. So this is definitely my home. I will be back on tomorrow, and I hope you guys come on by. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the conversation. Always, you make it a lot more fun, and it's why I do the streaming. It's absolutely the best thing about this game. I will catch you guys later, and have a good one.